Hi everyone, and welcome into the Summer Wellness Series, Best Tips by Global Experts. I am Fiorenza Rossini, NLP and life coach working with driven millennials to create a happy, fulfilling and balanced life. I'm also the founder of this group, the Busy Bees community. And today I'm very excited to be welcoming Carolina for our last Q&A interview of the Summer Wellness Series. Welcome, Carolina.
Hi. Hi, thank you for having me here. I'm really honored and I'm happy to contribute and have a nice conversation together and give amazing tips to people that can use, not only for the summer, but all year round.
Yes, you're right. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Carolina. So maybe for those of you, for those of us who don't know you yet, would it be okay to introduce yourself and tell us where you are, where you live, and what you do?
Okay, so I live in London, as you, but currently I'm actually in Poland, where I come from. So I'm Polish and currently at my parents' house. And so what I do, I work as a mind-body coach. And I help women who struggle with their bodies, so struggle with losing weight or struggle with accepting and loving themselves, to really embrace their body fully, fall in love with their body, but also fall in love with fitness and health, and really shift this negative patterns around fitness, because it can stop us from moving forward. So that's what I do, and I help women to lose weight if that's something that they want, or get into better shape, but from place of love. There we go. That's what I do. And I'm coaching.
Love that.
I love that too, actually.
I hope that everyone can hear us okay. Sorry for interrupting. So Marta is connected and Pri as well. So please, guys, let us know if well, and we'll try to fix it.
Yeah, maybe thumbs up, guys. Give us thumbs up if you can hear it, so we know that you're listening and it's all okay.
So Pri says yes, so that's good. That's good.
Okay, we're rolling.
So, could you tell us a bit more about your own fitness journey and the milestones that you've achieved so far, and how you go about just like talking about your fitness journey?
Okay, perfect. So I did start, basically, I was always into sport when I was younger and I loved it. So I became a fitness instructor when I was in my college. And so I became teaching classes. That was the beginning, kind of the journey. And it's kind of rolled as I was getting older, and then I moved to London and I became a personal trainer. So I got my personal training certification, and there was a time in my life I really loved helping people. At the time I worked with men and women. Now mostly I work with women. So I really loved helping them and seeing the results and seeing how their life's shifting, because they're having more confidence about themselves, and they falling in love with the body, with the fitness. And but I was at the stage in my life that I wanted to do something more, and my life was shifting, and I kind of had a little bit of negative or maybe dark side to me, and everyone has that. So it's we have a dark and light side to us. So I had this kind of party girl, side where I used to go out, and actually, although I was into fitness and eating healthy, but I also liked partying, and I was drinking, and I was kind of didn't feel I was the best role model. So, from that place of, I want to become better, and I want to kind of be a better for myself and for my clients. I got into bodybuilding, and I became a fitness kind of a competitor. And now, if you ever heard or saw how, it's kind of a fitness model type, and I got into that, but I got with the energy wasn't very loving for myself. So it was more coming from the place where, I'm not good enough as I am now. So I'm going to be better. So people, see me as like, better person. So it was actually coming from, not from the place of completely loving and accepting myself, but from the place of not accepting. And the whole journey of bodybuilding was really difficult for me. And if anyone thinks into, looking into the fitness modeling pictures, there is always a story behind it. And some stories are really great, but a lot of stories actually are quite abusive in a way, because I got into this whole dieting, very restrictive dieting patterns, and very very excessive training. Like I would spend so much time at the gym to get this ideal body, right? And because it's a competitive sport, you compete with other women, so you compare yourself all the time, and I'm good enough and I'm not, and I got suddenly into this really obsessive mindset and really obsessing behavior, which later on I realized it happened because it was in me. Basically, it was the energy that I got into this whole period of my life. It was basically not self-accepting, not loving. So it was very harsh energy. And so going into the fitness competitions, I did really well. Like I really pushed myself, and I used some, NLP training for myself to really to really visualize the winning, and so I won and most of the competitions, and I placed second in UK in one of the biggest organizations. But then I wasn't happy, and what I realized, being in this perfect body, that I thought it would make me really happy and would make me, someone, I didn't feel really good about myself. And not only that, I really disconnected, not only from my body, because it was, coming all from the calculated mind, but I disconnected from friends, because now I wasn't eating, I wasn't going out and enjoying the food. I was obsessed, about counting all the calories, and it was very just abusive, really, mindset. And I can see that a lot in women, in my clients. And it doesn't have to be in people who compete, but it is when you actually try to lose weight, or try to get into better shape, and you doing that from the place of really not accepting yourself. And so you can take the journey on into, approach that with two different energies. So you can approach it with like, oh, I hate my body, like I don't like who I am, I don't want to, look at myself like that. And you start pushing, and you start kind of getting into that obsessive mindset. Or you can look and have the energy of, yes, I'm not in the place where I want to be with my body. I can see that I have abused it with food, I have abused it with alcohol or drugs or whatever, and therefore I think it's enough. I accept where I am right now, but I feel I wanna do something better for myself in the way of I wanna show a loving side to my body. And then, you start the journey with a different energy of self-love energy as well as fitness, right? And that is a whole life journey. It's not something that you
Yeah,
just do for 8 weeks. Or it's not,
absolutely.
it's 8 weeks, it may be the kickstart, right? But it's not something that you just diet for 8 weeks and then you go on the beach and you flash your abs and then you binge, because that's what I was doing, right? And many people, many women are still in this kind of mindset. And then again, it's a Christmas, they binging on food, but then New Year resolution and they start to lose it. And it's just such a crazy cycle. So yeah, I'm just showing how to do it in a loving way, so you don't have to go through the crazy cycle, and you can just sort it out once for all and love who you are and really maintain the healthy body.
I really love that, and I think it's really beautiful and powerful at the same time. What you're saying, and it's really thinking about fitness and how how our body looks in a way that feels good. It's not a temporary thing. We don't just want to have a healthy looking body just for summer and then having it completely wasted for winter, or the other way around if you guys are on in Australia. Yeah, so it's really having this holistic approach and
It
make
is
sure that
holistic.
we are, yeah, and make sure that we are on this right path as well. And I think because of the media and because of how many, I can't even count how many books exist about like diet to lose X pounds in 2 weeks or whatever. All these like resources that can be dangerous. From my point of view, and I'm sure you share the
Mm-hmm.
same point of view. So
Absolutely.
what would be the tips that you could give to women to help them make the right choices and get on this stability path and having the right mindset instead of just doing a quick fix that's just gonna not be healthy in the long term?
Mm-hmm. So doing it a little bit slower, first of all. So, changing one habit at the time. So not throwing so many things at once because it's overwhelming and confusing, and then we feel like a failure, and then so we fall off the wagon, and it's just like, oh, I can't do it. I'm not cut to for fitness, or I can't maintain it, because we all start somewhere, right? uh, and it's you can get where you want, that's not a problem, but then take the smaller steps. So let's say, okay, start with drinking more water. Okay, tip number one. Okay, if you drink 5 cups of coffee a day and just 1 cup of water, that already is something wrong with that. So getting the water up, that's number one. And water is actually great detoxifier. It gives us energy, it flushes the toxins. So that's it. Then let's start, okay, maybe with changing breakfasts. If you're always someone who rush and wakes up and just have a coffee and goes and doesn't eat, and then just on the way have some croissants and some bagel or whatever, making sure that you make the time to eat in a in a kind of peaceful manner, so it's not rushing, and starting the day with sustainable food. So I'm advocate of plant-based food. So most of my diet is plant-based, and I made a transition over the time. But I still would have like fish once in a while when I travel, or maybe a piece of cheese, which I definitely, that's probably not the best not the best choices, but it's also the balance. So not trying to be perfect. And I think a lot of people fall because they're trying to be completely perfect, and perfection doesn't exist. You make sure that you have all your green vegetables and all your green smoothies if you can't eat. You don't have a time to prepare everything. It's so easy actually. But also if you want a piece of chocolate, have a
Mm-hmm.
good quality chocolate, right? Also, if you want, have a toast, piece of bread, have some good quality bread. So I'm more about choosing the quality and choosing and substituting things like, well, instead of having like a normal ice creams, why not to make like a vegan nice creams, I call it, which are much more better and so good for digestion. And over the time, those little swaps and it's really a mindset. It's not mindset of restriction, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a mindset of adding abundance of colorful food to your diet. And then, naturally, your body is going to balance itself. But if you're someone who, like me, I used to binge, and it was just kind of unhealthy relationship with food, I would say, definitely start with preparing your day in advance. Okay, making sure breakfast I'm gonna be eating at home, lunch, I have meetings and I may not be able to eat something. So actually I'm gonna grab this or make myself a smoothie and I take it with me, or second lunch, because I'm advocate of eating 4 meals a day or 3 meals and a snack. Just pretty sustainable, every couple hours, probably every 4 hours, and balancing the blood sugar so you don't have those cravings, right? So if I were to say, summarize, like take a slow approach, change
Yeah.
one eating habit at a time, eat in a peaceful energy, so don't rush, because that is actually really bad for the digestion. Therefore, the food is not absorbed,
Yeah.
and we can't utilize everything. So slower eating, more water, and especially at the beginning of the journey when someone wants to get better with the habits, prepare at least a day in advance and sit down and think, okay, I'm gonna be tomorrow my day looks like that. So how can I organize my food so I'm not going too hungry and then grabbing some random stuff?
Yeah. No,
So
yeah. It's really like taking the small steps to make sure that your eating, your food routine is improved, that it's quality over quantity, and that you really take a mindful approach of making sure that you appreciate and that you really are present in the moment, like for each meals you're having, and so on. Yeah, no, that does yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And how is it that you work then? So do you then associate some like form of workout into the mindset work? How?
So basically, well, it really depends. So if I have clients in person, then it's a bigger package, and we can I train with them maybe a couple of times a week, and help with the overhaul the kitchen, and having like really full on support. But most of my clients actually are online. And so how I work, it's a holistic thing. So we look at where they are right now. So let's say, I have one client who travels all the time, right? So she's changing like her place every couple of weeks, like every 2 weeks. And you can, and sometimes she can't cook. And so, it is difficult to kind of make a regular routine. So we have to prepare in advance, and making sure that she is, she can say no to things that are not supporting her journey. And and when she is in one place, that full on dedicates time for herself. So it's kind of looking into individual person when you will work one-on-one, and seeing where you are right now, what's happening. So not only in the life, like what's your routine in life, but also actually what's your mindset, because we are a reflection of our thoughts. So our action, therefore our body, is a reflection of our thoughts and beliefs and conditionings, right? So the way we look right now is because previously you have been doing some things that hasn't been maybe supporting your health, right? And that can be physical, like eating stuff, but emotional as well. Worrying too much and stressing, it's a huge issue if it comes to the health and actually weight gain. So that's very important to look into. Sleeping patterns. I look into sleeping patterns. Are you sleeping well? Are you sleeping enough? Because again, if someone doesn't sleep enough, then they're gonna be craving, and they basically, they're tired. They're gonna be craving all the sugary and fatty food to kick, the energy up. And it will be a little bit more difficult to maintain a healthy habit. So looking through everything and what triggers people to, let's say, eating sugar, right? So that's I found is quite big issue with this addiction to eating sweet stuff. So looking into that from the physiological point, like, okay, what can we do, like during the day to making sure that the blood sugar is stable, but how can we actually support the emotional health and mindset, and find all those triggers that make us eat. So how I work, basically, it's individual approach, one-on-one, and it's a journey. It's a 12 weeks journey I take, and we're changing 1 or 2 habits a week, and they get the support, weekly support with the coaching session, and then yes, they definitely get the fitness routine with that supports their lifestyle, right? So if someone travels, I know that they need to maybe do something at home, and a home workout. If someone has access to the gym, then I can put together a gym training, which they can use. But we speak about that. So I'm at this stage, like of the fitness journey, that I believe that we should find something that we really, really love. Yeah. Right? So if so if someone is not a gym bunny, and they definitely don't want to do it, I'm not gonna be forcing them. Listen, you have to go and do the gym, because there are other ways to get in shape, and the more enjoyment you get from that, the more sustainable it will be. And this is really a fitness, right? It should be fun for you.
Absolutely, it should really be fun, and I'm really happy that you mentioned this. Well, I don't know if I'm a gym bunny, but I like classes. But I really don't like going by myself into a gym and like running on a treadmill or like cycling just by myself. Find it boring, but at the same time, I'm very happy to go to like a Zumba class, or even like a circus, or like fighting, but just I really like the group spirit because of the energy that it gives me. And if I am by myself, I'm struggling a bit more to recreate it and to find that. I'm also very glad you mentioned is okay for people not to be gym bunnies, and that there are some alternative ways, to get fit. And I'd love to know what those alternative ways could be.
So definitely classes, like you have all the, you can go to the gym and do the classes with group, which I love. And I used to teach classes myself. So I love the spirit of group and support and, sweating together, and it's fun. So I do at the moment, I don't teach, but I do classes. Sometimes I just go and join, and so I love that. There are plenty of different workouts that you can follow online, and I'm actually want to create something for people as well, and just more explaining maybe a little bit about the body, how to connect when we train, how to connect with the body to actually get the quicker results, because that's also important. And so I would say, any fitness classes, I mean, in London, in any place really, you have, now it's blooming. Like you can see all those pop-up places that offer different classes. If you want to go into CrossFit, go to CrossFit. If you want to stay at home and put DVD in the thing, put DVD. It doesn't matter. Just do what what fits you. And I personally like to train on my own as well. So I kind of now balance in between. But what's the most important is do it on regular basis, right? So make it a part of your life. So fitness and looking after your body and moving your body, it's not like, oh, I just do it because I want to lose weight, or I just do it because no, that's okay, that's cool, but do it because you change the whole hormonal balance in your body. You create happiness hormones, and you actually more positive, and you feel better about yourself. And for me, I'm not a big runner, but I love running once in a while because it helps me to clear my head, and actually I get the best ideas when I go for a run. And I don't really like running. I mean, I run for 10 minutes and walk for 10 minutes, and I'm not really a big runner. But so that's what I believe. You should find what is good for you. If you like Zumba, that's cool. Do the Zumba. Probably some type of strengthening exercises would be as well good, because like as I have a background in personal training, like I know how people posture and needs to be improved as well. So I think that's a good way. So a little bit, it can be body weight, it can be some home workout, or even with the rubber bands, something to do on your own. And so improving the posture, improving the breathing, how we breathe during the training is also important in in this approach. But whatever you feel, and if you have something around the corner, like you have a studio or you have a gym, and just go and join and see, maybe you meet new people. So that's and that's very cool as well.
And have you noticed something in common that is like, the common pain point for people that you work with? For example, is it, getting over that sugar race, or is it sleeping better? I was wondering if there's like a common pain point.
A lot of people definitely have issues with sleep, and that is definitely quite common thing. And if you're not sleeping well, obviously that's gonna be reflecting on the whole journey, on the whole fitness, on the whole how you feel next day. So that's something that I help. But what I see people struggle the most is not believing in themselves, in the fitness, like really not really being very hard on themselves and judgmental and so heavy. And that's why they're heavy, because they're heavy in the approach to themselves. And I know, because I've been there. I've been like 2 stones bigger after my competition. I just blew, I was big. I put a lot of weight, and so I understand. It's not that I always been, most of my life, yes, I've been slim. But that also was due to, to not, to my dark side when I used to party a lot. So, I do understand where they're coming from, and seeing people really not believing in themselves, or like beating themselves up because, they're not perfect, they haven't done something perfect, or not believing they actually do. So they would, yeah, and that again is this perfectionism coming, like, oh, I have to have everything to the perfect, like, no, I can't eat anything out of some kind of plan, oh no, I ate that, and so that's gonna just destroy the whole the whole process. No, it's not about that. It's really about self-acceptance, and the energetics behind. And there are studies actually as well about that. That people who believe they just by looking at cake they get fat, they actually get fat. People who just saying like, well, I can eat this, I love food and food loves me, and I can eat this piece, and and I can still stay slim, they actually are having better chance to be slimmer and healthier. And so why is that? Because your brain sends the signals into your whole body, into all systems, the digestion systems, the hormones, your insulin. So if you look at if you look at something and you're already like, oh, this is bad, and you're judging, so this judgment, energy already making you heavy. If you understand what it's already making your cortisol going up, your insulin going up, and so therefore you can't even digest that piece of food properly. So I would say the other thing is really feeling guilty very often. So eating something and then feeling guilty about eating something, like, and I think you said it's so much information that is confusing. So people feel guilty because they're not listening to themselves and their body, but they're listening to all the information out there because they trust, some expert knows better. And yes, well, some people have all the on all the researches, but there is a research that plant-based diet is amazing, and there is a research that paleo diet is is good as well, and the keto diet, which means that you just eat basically fat and meat. So it can be confusing, and I'm saying, do what feels best. Do you believe that you need to eat so many animals to get healthy? Or do you believe that eating, colorful vegetables and fruits, it's better for you? And just go with this feeling, okay, and what do I believe? What do I like as well? Do I like actually eating, fat and meat, or do I prefer to eat light? And so you have to really tap into what you are about as well, and listen a little bit and trust a little bit more of your own voice. And that's what I teach my clients as well, just to be more in tune.
Yeah, and I can definitely relate. And there are so many things you've mentioned that, cross over with what I work with my clients too. And it's something that I've noticed as well. We often are accepting ourselves less than what we are accepting others. And also we are forgiving ourselves less than what we are forgiving others. And yeah, I can see how, important this is as well in your work. And it's really like a building block, right? It's really a building block for confidence and when I say confidence, I mean internal confidence, but also external one. And in the external one, then you have, the way how you look, how you just feel in your body. So it's definitely this resonates to me, and I'm sure it will resonate with a lot of people in this group. And that's really powerful. And we are the key, right? We are the key of ourselves, and that's really amazing. Okay, I wanted to ask you a slightly different question now. I would love to know more about you, as in Karolina, from behind the scenes. Any, special skill that you have, or any, hobby that is out of the common. Yeah, tell us something from behind the scenes.
So yeah, I love sleeping. So no, that's I used to be a stress head. Like I used to be worrying a lot, and I would be a very stressful person. So I guess I'm really shifted that to be more chilled, and so I like doing things that are basically really chilled. I'm introvert, so I love being on my own. In fact, living in London is actually quite difficult for me because I can feel, because I'm intuitive as well, and I can feel the energies of people. It can be very overwhelming. So being around big crowds. So yeah, I love spending time on my own and just chilling. I love learning new stuff. So basically, I am like a learning junkie. I love reading, and specifically about consciousness and spirituality, consciousness, and evolving of the soul, and yeah, everything that is beyond the body, really, which is the truth. Because we are souls that are having this, physical experience with the body, and that's what actually it comes to me. This one thing, because a lot of people identify themselves with the body and put the value on themselves through the body. Right. And I was the son, when I was competing, definitely. Well, if I looked like that, then I'm valuable person. So, but the thing is, as soon as you start doing that, the universe will test you, will put you into situation where you're gonna lose that attachment, where you're gonna lose that. And you will have to learn your lesson that no, you're not the body, you're not that. You're not that. This is not who you are. It's not your, value. You're more than that. It's just the addition. It's just your home on planet Earth, but you're not that. So I used to have this, those experiences where I would be so, and even before competing, like I got sick a couple of times where I really lost the way I looked because I was putting so much importance on that, right? So I developed this psoriasis, and it was like whole body covered, actually, with the skin peeling off from the top of the face, from the face to the bottom, and I had to deal with that. So there are learnings. I'm deviating a little bit from the question, but there are learnings in everything that we're going through. And that's why you're going through it. So the learnings, you need to get the learning, and then it will start shifting. But what else do I like? So I love spending time with my close friends. I love sun and traveling, and I haven't been traveling for the last couple of years a lot, but this year I have been traveling like crazy, basically. So I went to Bali, and now I traveled here, and I was just in Spain. So um, it's a lot of traveling, and I think maybe catching up a little bit for all the years that I haven't. What else? How I am? Normally, when I'm in London, I wake up early. Not that I like particularly, but I condition myself, like I work on my discipline, right? So I work on my discipline, waking up early, and then meditating and doing the journaling, and and moving my body in some ways, whatever feels good at the day. And then having my clients consultations or one-to-one. But at the moment, I'm a little bit all over the place. So therefore, my routine maybe is not as as regular as when I'm in London. So, but that's fine as well. And that's what I'm teaching. You don't always have to.
I'm grateful that you shared all this about you, and I really like that. And you're obviously very real and very genuine. So that is amazing, and I hope that you will inspire many people in this group, but just in the world as well. So conscious of time as well, I want to ask you, so where can people follow you? Where can people find you online?
Okay, so you guys can, and you're more than welcome to come to my Facebook page, which is Love Based Body, and the same with the Instagram, Love Based Body, or just my private page, Facebook page at the moment, which is Karolina Kato. So if you just click, I guess, on the name here, you will be taken there. So that's where I hang out, and I have been a little bit quiet over the summer. But yes, I'm coming back as well with some more tips in September. So yeah, have your eyes and ears peeled, and I will be giving some good tips. Yeah.
Awesome. And I mean, I know you were traveling, so that's absolutely normal to take a bit of a digital break.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. I mean, I had this amazing road trip for 2 weeks, and it just it has been really cool.
Yeah, I can imagine how cool road trips are. I'm myself about to start one on Friday, so it's like yay! I know I'm very much looking forward to it. So
yeah, you're gonna have an amazing time, I'm sure.
Fingers crossed. Okay, and I think that you've prepared a little bit of a surprise for us. Do you want to tell us a bit more about it?
Yes, I wanted to give coaching session for five women, or five women who are in the group. And who feel like they would benefit from like a breakthrough session with me. So there is obviously no string attached, and they will get amazing value through it. And if they feel stuck around the body, or they can't lose weight, or they want to change, and they want to really step into this place of loving themselves, and stop the whole drama around the food, and the whole drama about not being enough in the body, then absolutely please either drop the comment below and just say it's me, or you can PM, just personal message me, or on my Facebook, and I will get back to you. So it's about 45 60 minutes, and we will definitely go into deeper layers as well, what's happening and what's holding back, and clear that stuff to make you feel lighter, basically, in your body.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity, and I really hope that people will get in touch with you, because that's just amazing. So yeah, please, people, please, just get back in touch with Karolina. That's really an amazing offer. And also, I wanted to thank you very much for being with us today, for taking part into the Summer Wellness Series. And so thank you very much, Karolina, and thank you everyone for following us through this series, and I hope that you enjoyed all the interviews as much as I did.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm happy that I could share my story, and happy to help, and I'm sure it's if it resonates with some people, they will feel they can also change, and looking back where I was many years ago, when I am now, within myself and my body, and how relaxed I am around this. It's not something that I stress like I used to, and therefore that's what I want for people, for women, to really feel at home and really have this loving connection with themselves. So,
awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. I'm sorry.
I think
the phone got
I think my battery also is running low. So if I cut off, that's not you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Karolina. All very soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Bye, Fiorenza.
Bye.